Hi guys, Silver Soul Fox here. I wanted to do a couple videos and I'm very sorry I didn't get it out earlier. My phone does not like to upload. It takes it all day to upload one video. But I wanted to do some sigil work and to show you guys the different options you have for creating sigils. Um, maybe each one of you could get inspired and find your own way of creating those if they're just not popping up for you, like for your imagination, your intuition. If that doesn't work for you, there are many methods to use. I do have a lot of my shit together, y'all. I'm proud of that, man. I've been working on it. But before we get started on the sigils, I kind of wanted to go over a couple things with you guys without sounding too preachy or like I'm not a teacher, you know. I just been doing this for a really long time. And the best teacher I've ever had is experience. So I kind of wanted to just remind you guys to always write stuff down. I don't know if you can see this pile in front of me here, but this is just one pile, and I have many. But my point being, like, I'm not talking about your book of shadows, your grimoires, like these, big ones, little ones. We all have them. We all use them. I personally only put workings in mine. I don't put knowledge in mine. Like, for example, you're not going to find color magic how-tos in my Book of Shadows. You're not going to find moon phases, what to do on this moon phase, or anything instructional like that in my Book of Shadows. My Book of Shadows for me is spells only, mainly family spells. If you're not family or friend, you shouldn't be touching my books and looking through my spells, that kind of thing. But I do have a lot of other books like these. Um, just little notepads you go to your dollar store and get, and you just keep over the years. Like, I'm doing this with one hand, so you'll have to help me out here. But just for example, like this little book was with me probably for 5 years. And I don't know if you can see, but it just goes on and on and on and on. And this is one tiny little book, just filled with juicy, really good, need to know information. This one little book went through 5 years with me, of in the beginning when I was just learning. This book is newer, but still yet it's got a lot of good recipes, a lot of good oil recipes. Anything that I do, I write down. Any working I do, I write down. Any thing I find, on YouTube that I like to credit my sources. I also like to write that shit down. I know you guys can't see a lot of this, but it's just the point of being everything that you do, any workings, anything you look up, any rabbit holes you go down, write that stuff down. Because I don't know if your brain is anything like mine, but for me, if I don't write it down, I don't remember it. Like I can print stuff off from, like online and stuff where I'm researching something. Let's throw those out of the way now. But I can do that and it doesn't stick with me, you know, repetitive. If I write it down a few times, it's going to stay in there. It's going to like ding, 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 so I'm going to remember it. But for me, that's energy. Like anything, like I don't print off a lot of things. Like if I'm making something for a friend, I'm not going to print off a label for it. I'm going to handwrite that label. That's just me. I like to handwrite everything. I like to put my own energy into everything. And I know a lot of you are like that. So who knows? Maybe you'll get some good tips out of this. And I don't know if you remember, but this was just the card I got, the oracle card I got with that really cool crystal, Menelite. So, you know me, I had to look it up. It's a beautiful stone, and I believe those cards are meant for us. So I did so. So I went ahead and researched it. And when I research crystals, I like to use one source. And believe you me, I have tried many sources. I like Crystal Council the best. They give the chakra They give the element, they give the zodiac sign, they give the metaphysical properties, they give the, just everything you could imagine on the stones, and they're all correct for me. They seem to fit, so I cannot give them enough praise. I enjoy Crystal Council. Their metaphysical properties on their stones and their stone information is just spot on. So while I have that out, I'm going to go ahead and put that in my crystal book. Remember what I was telling you? Like I said, a lot of different books here, but you'll remember I was telling you it's all handwritten stuff. Like, just for an example, this is just an index of all the crystals that I've handwritten, all the stuff. These are just crystals. Just crystals only. You guys really need to get you a lot of books and get ready, because that's all it is. Witchcraft is learning, the whole deal. It's just one big binder of information, and I handwrote every one of these pages, every one of these crystals. There must be, 5,000 or more. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. But anytime I want to look something up that has to do with my crystals, I use my index. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there because it needs to go in there now. And I have it right here. I always have my things just right here. They're always organized. Well, mostly organized and just close by. You guys need to see my birth chart. But, just look at that thickness. These papers, they go on and on. You're never done learning. My point, being you always learn. Every time you go down a rabbit hole, you need to write it down, because you need to remember these things. You're going to look back one day and say, what the hell did I put in that? Write it down. Whenever you do a working, write it down. Whenever we learn about these sigils here in a little bit, please write it down. All these papers, all these books, they're more important to me than you could imagine. I mean, I would be lost without them. And to be honest, I'm still adding. After all these years, I'm still adding. Look at all these little things. Oh my goodness. It's just a wealth of knowledge, My son sometimes will just, give me one of your binders, and he wants to read into it. And I'm glad that he does that, because I want to share it, with him. Even if he's not as into it as I am, he will be one day. I know he will. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and move those big binders out of the way and see what we can learn about sigils today, like I said we were going to. Before we start with sigils, I want to remind you, witchcraft, the craft, spirituality, whatever you want to call it, is a lot of symbols. Tons of symbols. So I don't know if you can see this, but here are some tarot symbols. The symbols for the tarot. You might want to keep those in mind. And we also have the witch's alphabet. You can also see those symbols. You might want to keep those in mind. Like I said, a lot of times it's just about symbols. You have your astrology symbols. You have your planets. You have your signs. There's your signs up there on the right. And then here come your planets over here on the left. And they go on and on, I know. And like I said, there's a lot of symbology. Symbolism, what's the word I'm looking for, in the craft. Those are astrology notes. I don't think we're going to need those. But symbols like the Elder Futhark, the ruins here on the left. See those? Might want to keep those in mind. All these symbols are very important when you're making sigils. We can go with some bind runes. Excuse me, a bit of paper in my mouth there. These are just runes combined, hence the word bind, runes. More than one rune combined together, form an intention. And then we can go with the wonderful witches runes, which we come to realize on the live with Disco and Sassy the other day. There are a lot of different versions of this. There's my version, and the last two, eye and the scythe. Okay, and then you have some favorite just like protection symbols, like that right there. Of course, my favorite is the pentacle. There you go, some of those. And then you can go to things like moon glyphs, things like this, Trinity symbol, 3 rays, personal protection, triple goddess, horned god. And then here we have some actual moon glyphs. Time, blood, death, fear, things like that. The Wheel of the Year, Solar Cross, Infinity. And my favorite, the Ankh. I wear an Ankh every day for protection and good luck. Also, the element symbols. Those are great for Sigil Creations. There's another refresh on some of the planets. And that's a little tidbit of information there if you didn't already know. If you're a ring person like me and you wear a lot of rings, each finger that you wear those rings on means something different. It's real quick right there if you want to check that out. But anyway, let's keep on track here. We're just going to do the symbols. So again, the tarot. It's a big one. A lot of people like those. But the witch's alphabet, I use that a lot myself. Planets again. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of symbols. Just to keep those in mind as you're creating your sigils, because it helps. Got my paper clips there. Don't get intimidated. There are a few ways to create sigils. Okay, some people, I'm going to have a seat if you don't mind, since we're going to be writing here. Some people can't just think of something in their head and then, you know, draw it out. Some can't. Everyone's different. So, for those of us who, this is my preferred way normally. Lately, I've been doing a few different things, but let me turn off my stove. It sounds like it might be a little loud for you guys. Okay, there we go. It's almost 50 today. So, yay, it's warm. I love that sunshine. Anyway, I want to show you a couple things before we get started. This is what's called a number to letter conversion chart. It's not hard. It's no big deal. This is used in a lot of different things like numerology, astrology, just anything that has to do with numbers and letters. It's just basically 1 through 9, and then you write the alphabet under it. So it's not hard. It's just going to turn your letters into numbers for you, and you'll see why later on. Also, this little square here, this square, there we go, right there. This is called a magical square. This is also Saturn's grid. Each planet has a grid, a square. The reason this is called a magical square is because it equals 15. Well, it'll equal a particular number, the same number, every row, diagonal, horizontal, it doesn't matter. It's going to equal 15. Up and down, sideways, corner to corner, any way you can look at it, it's going to equal the same. So it's a magical square. And Saturn's is the smallest. This is it, and this is why we're going to work with it, because it is the smallest. That's the only reason. I do have, where I get into it a little deeper myself, I do have the other planets here, if you would like to just see. That's just any magical square. You can create them yourself, which I've done here. This is Saturn's grid, as I just showed you. This is Jupiter's grid. As you can see, it's a little larger. The numbers also get larger. This is Mars' grid. The Sun's grid. I use this one a lot. Love it. And then they just keep getting bigger and bigger. This is Venus's grid. Very large. And then your letters to numbers, as I just showed you. And then again, this is just for sigil making. So, pop that off of there. Let me just cut rid of those. So, this might help a little bit now. What you want to do, basically, is start out by picking an intention. I like one-worders in the beginning, just to kind of give you an idea. You never want to use phrases like I want, I need, you know, things like that. We never do that in magic. We know this, right? We know this. So you want to phrase it like you already have it, or it's already happening. My body is healthy, you know. My pockets are full of money. Whatever your intention might be. Okay, for right now, like I did abundance here on this one. As you can see, the word abundance. Okay, so let's just do that again. We're going to write our intention, abundance. Okay, that's simple enough, right? Everybody can do that, write it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write it again below there. Write it twice. We're going to go through and we're going to take out any vowels. Just mark them out of there like they're not there, okay? Because the consonants are the manifesting letters, and that's what we want. So we're just going to go through and mark out any vowels, okay? And then we're going to write the letters that we're left with. Okay? Now, see, those are the letters we're left with. Any that are repeating, which would be the N, you see? We're just going to knock that out of there. So any vowels and any repeating consonants we're going to take out. And then we're going to write down what we're left with. Okay, so any vowels or any repeating consonants we're going to take out. Okay, so we are left with B, N, D, C. Okay, those are the manifesting consonants of our intention, abundance. Okay, so we're going to turn those into numbers using our conversion chart. See that little conversion chart right there? So the letter V is going to be a 2. You see what I'm doing there? The letter N is going to be a 5. The letter D is going to be a 4. And the letter C is going to be a 3. So you've got 2, 5, 4, 3. Okay? And do you remember that square? I can draw it for you real quick here. 4, 9, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 1, 6. And you just kind of square it up. Okay. Okay, there's your magical square, your Saturn's grid, whichever square you want. And here's your number, 2, 5, 4, 3. Okay, so what you want to do, you want to go from number 2, right here, to number 5, right there. From 5 to 4, right there. And from 4 to 3, right there. Okay, so you see that? So what I'm going to do is that right there, okay? That is a one-word sigil. Now, of course, you can add on to that. That's not all there is to it, But, and of course, you're probably going to do more than one word, you know, so they do get a little bit larger and a little more decorative there. You'll get the point. But once you can do the one word, you can really do any kind of phrase. You can also add on your, you know, you can put like little lines like that, or you can put your little moon like that. You can always put a beginning or an ending like so. You know, anything you want to add to it, you can. It's your creation. It's your sigil. And again, that's just the one word, you know, and look how it turned out differently over here. If you can see that, same word, same grid. Okay. 2, 5, 4, 3. 2, 5, 4, 3. And there's your sigil for abundance. Same thing. Looks a little bit different each time, however you feel comfortable doing it. Now, there is another way to do this, if you so wish. Hang on there, watch your ears there, guys. I'm just going to rip that off. You can stop halfway, like, let's say, abundance again. Okay, your abundance, your intention first. Take out your vowels. That's always going to be the case. And then write down the letters you're left with. And then take out any doubles. And then write down your final letters. Okay. Now, instead of turning those letters to numbers using our conversion chart and then using a grid, what we can also do is we can just use these in creating our sigil. You can use the actual letters, or you can use the actual shapes per letter. Like the C's are going to be like this. You're going to have one of those. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 straight lines. You're going to have 2, 3 of the circles. These marks, see the signs and the marks I'm getting from the letters? Do you see what I'm doing? These letters here, so I'm getting these shapes here. Or you can use the actual letters in your sigil. You know, so I would start with the tallest. Usually a T is great to start with, something with a long line, and then you just build off of that line. You know, you could start with something like this. Okay, start with your long line. Okay, so that would be your N. See there? And then down here, and that would be your D. Okay. And then put the C in the middle there. The B under the C there. I always like to do a little extra markings on mine. Okay. There's a decent looking sigil for abundance. That's just a different way of doing it. You don't have to use the planetary grids, the magical squares, the conversion charts. You can, but you can stop right there. You can stop halfway and go all the way. You don't have to do any of this at all. You can just take your intention, like abundance, right there. Take your intention and just do any type of sigil that comes to your mind. It's your creation. A sigil is anything that you turn into magic. It's your intention. You make it magical. You. So anything you choose to do, you know, is going to be magical. It doesn't really matter the method you choose. So, but for example, I have a lot of examples here. See the intention. My visions are strong and clear. That was my intention. I took out the vowels. I took out the doubles, and those were the letters I was left with. See, that's a long string of letters. When you use phrases more so than one word, you're going to get larger amounts of letters. So once I turn the letters to numbers, there's the numbers, and then I use those numbers on that grid, and that's the sigil I get. And just to let you know, you don't have to do straight lines. See here, there's a straight line. Here's a curved line. See the difference? You can curve the lines as long as they go from the number, like from 4 to 1 to 5 to 9 to 2 to 7 to 4 to 3. It doesn't matter if they're curved or straight, as long as they go in the correct direction. As the method states, you're doing it right. Those are your options, all from the same intent and the same method, just a different way of doing it. See? But in the beginning, it's pretty much the same for everyone. You're still going to have that same, my body is fit, would be the intent. Take out the vowels, any double consonants. Oh, and there was something else I wanted to show you too. I think it come up here. Yes, it did. Okay, on this one, after you take out your vowels and your double consonants and you turn your letters to numbers, you see there where I've got 4, 4, 1, 5, 9, 2, 7, 4, 3, 3. Anytime you have numbers together like that, you can just turn it to 1, as you'll see where I did that below. So instead of the 4, 4, 1, 5, it's just 4, 1, 5. And instead of the 7, 4, 3, 3, it's just 7, 4, 3. So like when they're side by side, you can't just, turn them to 1. So that's just another note. Excuse me. It just makes for less, smaller number to deal with. And again, that intention has a lot to do with the size of the numbers or the intricate sigil you're going to be working with there. So, but yeah, there's a lot of different ways, different sigils to get the same thing. Here, I just wanted to show you, I used the actual letters themselves for my body is fit, MBDSFT, and there they are. And then over here, I use some planetary symbols for my body is fit, right there on that far right one there. And you can use any kind of imagery that you feel will help you make your sigil. Okay? Like I use a lot, and I like to keep a journal, a sigil journal. This one was for, sharing my secrets here, this one was for my floor wash. I think I might have included that in Stacy's box, little thank you box. But these were some of the sigils for my floor wash that I did. And then this one, my dreams are sweet and vivid. I use that in my dream pillows. I believe it was that one there. I'm not sure. I do so many sigils. That's why it was hard for me to answer on the live. I don't want to tell her incorrectly, but, I have so many. I do so many sigils. It's hard. And like I said, you can use any planetary grid you want. You can get them off of line. They're, not hard to find. I just write them all down. I know a lot of them by heart, actually, but that's just because I work with them a lot. And that conversion chart as well. Now, some folks like to use the circle, which I understand being, witchy. However, my brain doesn't work like that. It's really hard for my brain to put the alphabet in a circle and then try to do it. I just The square for me is so much easier. So that's why I do that. But any way is the right way. Remember that. Any way is the right way. Just however you feel comfortable doing it is going to be the right way for you. I just kind of wanted to expand things and let you know, hey, it's not just drawing. It's not just thinking of something and doing it. There are, methods to your madness. There are ways to create them, So, yeah, a lot of different sigils, a lot of different things to work with. And there's plenty of videos out there that'll tell you, oops, sorry about that. Plenty of videos out there, I am elevated, that will tell you how to do sigils in a lot of different ways. You know, there's just so many. You can just pick and choose, but these is just how I do it, and I've learned a lot of different things over the years on how they work. They do manifest better if you charge, activate, and forget. I don't know if that's the hermeticism coming out of me or what it is, but it seems to me that the more I focus and rely and use a sigil, the less powerful it becomes. If I do a sigil, I charge it and I activate it and I manifest the intention, and then that's it. Don't look back. Don't, just forget about it. It comes to fruition a lot quicker and a lot stronger than if, say, I draw a sigil on the bottom of my shoe for foot track magic, or say I put a sigil under a candle. Look here. Let's see right there. Ooh, a sigil. You know what I mean? I have them everywhere too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if it's something that you're trying to manifest now or quickly and you need it to happen for you, I strongly suggest charging it and activating it however you choose to do so. I like to burn mine. But whatever you choose, I suggest you just do it and forget it. And it will happen. It seems to work that way for me anyway. And, we're all different. So it could be, different for you. But yeah, that's sigils for me. And remember, keep journals. Write everything down. Please. Even your workings, your oil recipes, your spells, just anything. The carvings you put on a candle for a particular spell that manifested and you just couldn't believe how quickly and strong it worked. Write that down. 2 years from now, you might need that same spell and you're not going to remember what you did. I mean, it's really worth writing it down, and keeping notes on every single reading, every single card pull, because it might not make sense today, but trust me, it's going to make sense in the future. Your guides, your angels, the universe, God above, whatever it is, your higher power, they know better. And they are telling you this for a reason. You are on the right path. You are magic. Magic's not something you just create. It is in you. You live and breathe it. You are magic. So I hope you guys have fun creating sigils, and I cannot wait for the group working. I'm really excited, and I'm starting to feel better. Knock on wood. Thank goodness. That stuff about had me whipped, y'all. But I bounce back. It's just what I do. So it's been great doing this little video, and I really hope you guys get out there and make you some awesome sigils. Draw, carve on your candles. There's a few things that's new to me on this group working as well, like putting the candle in the jar. I don't do that. I mean, I know, like when I was 16, I would stick a candle in a bottle and let the wax drain over the bottle and make it really cool, that kind of thing. But I've never used that as a spell working. I've sealed jars with candles, but as far as putting the candle on top or in it, I've not done that. But it's new. I am up for learning things still. I learn every day, so I'm really excited to see what the girls got cooked up. I really am. I like watching them grow. I like watching them come into their magic. It's really cool. It's a beautiful thing to meet all these different ladies and see their different flavors. You know, it's pretty awesome. So, but yeah, get out there and do something magical today. I hope you guys get to enjoy some of the sunshine like I'm going to. And I hope you guys have a magical day and create some fun, really cool looking sigils. All right, I want to see some really cool sigils. So share if you want. All right, and have a magical day. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.